I'm Yamila, I'm from Germany, and I did my bachelor in Photonics Engineering. So I was searching for an optics or photonics program, and I found just a few that were actually interesting for me. And I applied at 2 universities, one in Germany and one here, Vrije. And I was really interested to go abroad because studying in English in my home country is the same if I go abroad. And then I just decided to go to Brussels. Also, my boyfriend is from Belgium, so it also fits a bit. Honestly, for me it was hard to judge which program is better because the descriptions, I don't know how I can interpret it. I don't know if it's really like how it is in real. And I just found that during the interviews, it was really kind to talk with the professors and it all feels like family here. As I mentioned, I went to the late night and it was just like a big family, everything super personal, while in bigger university, like bigger studies, it's quite distant. And I just found the whole idea quite cool, and I prefer to have a good environment. And I find the studies now I don't regret anything, so it's really good. For me it is, because in my school we were just 20 students, in my bachelor we were not even 20. So I'm quite used to that, and when we had bigger groups I felt that it all got less close. And also the professors don't have the time to actually get to know you and explain things on their own. And I sometimes just need a closer contact because then I just feel like welcomed and more important than just a number on the paper. I was a bit skeptical because you never know where the people are coming from. You never know how the cultural differences are. And during the late night, I got to know the ones from second year, and they were super kind, everyone super international and talked a lot. And when coming here, getting to know my colleagues, it was also very kind. So, I mean, we spent some time together, not much because studies take a lot of time, but I guess we have a quite good contact and it's quite international as well. And I noticed that there are cultural differences and different ways of having studied or grown up. But I think that's also an experience for itself to get to know how other countries are, and it's also a very good side effect. When I go into the city, it's quite international. You hear like every language possible. A lot of tourists, a lot of locals, which also are very international, or like speaking a lot of languages. What I find quite good, I didn't experience so far that someone really couldn't speak any English or couldn't help you out with something. And that's quite good because when I go to the south, for example, there are some people who just don't speak English at all. And then it's quite hard to manage on your own because I just have a basic level of French. And here it's more like you can go wherever you want. You always find someone, even older people, who just talk in English, and that's quite surprising for me. And I didn't know that it's possible. I mean, in Germany, even young people are still sometimes a bit like, yeah, I don't really learn English, I don't really want to talk. And here it's just like normal. I mean, it's really good to have closer contact, to have a basic language to talk with. I mean, it's an international studies, everyone is trying to speak the best English. And I didn't experience so much that it was hard to talk or to not understand each other because everyone has the basic English knowledge for that. And I just, in general, like how you can just talk with everyone about anything. Also know a bit more about the professors, that they're also willing to talk about themselves. So for me, it's quite interesting everything, so we learn about nearly every aspect possible. And sometimes, for example, when we learn something in math, I'm like, where can we use that? And the next subject, it's coming up again, and I'm like, okay, now we're seeing the connection, because sometimes it can be a bit too theoretical when you don't see where you use it from. And I find that it's quite good connected because they also know a bit how the other professors are teaching and what they are talking about. And then there's a little connection between the main subjects, but also the electives that we can choose. So they also know the basics that we have to know. So it's a quite good connection with everything. And the subjects are, let's say, not easy. It's hard to learn them, mostly also because of the quantity. But I find it's possible, and it's really worth it to just try and do the best. And it really prepares well for the future, simply because we learn like everything and in quite some depth. And you can then choose where you want to go with the electives or later the multidisciplinary. And well, you can just prepare your own future on your own. Yeah, so for me it was quite a roller coaster because coming here I was like, oh my gosh, will I be able to learn enough, study enough, understand things? And then the lesson started and I was quite shocked how fast it started, because usually in school or in bachelor they are like, yeah, let's start the first week quite soft and here's what I introduce myself and we start directly. And it is needed, the time is short, the subjects are quite full, which is also something good because we really learn a lot. And during the time I noticed that it is possible to learn everything. It's possible to understand things, even if it seems overwhelming in the beginning. Just learning a bit more, just trying to get it and talk to the professors if there's something unclear is a really good way to just start understanding. And then I felt a bit more secure. And now when the exams are coming, of course it feels like it's still too much. But I guess after the exams, we can say that we are quite good prepared, or probably that we can just say we're proud about what we achieved. And for me, it's, as I said, a lot, but very interesting to learn everything. And well, my highlight was basically that I started to understand math because I don't have the math background yet. So I learned everything to be able to understand the course itself. And they were quite hard on that, and I was able to manage it. I understood, I was able to do the exercises, and that's what I'm pretty proud about. And also another highlight that's more for the B-Phot chapter is the workshop we had with the artificial intelligence workshop, and that was quite cool because also getting to know some PhD students, some of the second year, and just enjoying to talk together, having people finally that share the same interest. Because it was not so easy during school time to have people that you can actually talk with. And for me, that's something cool because here everyone is studying or interested in the same thing. And you can have a basis to talk about. Everyone experienced something else and everyone can talk about what they did before, what they learned so far in the lab. So where they had internships, for example. That's quite cool. Totally, I could totally recommend the studies. Simply because, first of all, the studies itself is really good. It's very deep, very good variety of the subjects. And also what I noticed, they are not just like pure theoretical knowledge, but also they talk about the cooperations with some companies and the projects they have. And then you can already see where it's used for, what you can do later, get to know some companies that you before didn't know. And that's also one good point. Also talking with the professors. I mean, I guess it's the same in other universities. I cannot judge for that. But I know that I'm quite happy here to have also quite close contact. The professors are really caring, and I really have the feeling they don't teach just for the exams. They want to prepare you for the future, and that's the main goal. And the exams are just to check if you have learned enough. And I like the concept because usually it was more like, here you have all the knowledge, learn it, know for the exam, and after, I don't care. And here it's more, don't care about the exam, learn everything, you need it for the future. And that's a different way of approach, and I really like that. But also the internationality. I find that it's quite good to get to know other people, but also to have the chance to go abroad. I mean, we have the short-term internship, the long-term internship, the possibility to do a semester abroad or a whole year with a master thesis. I mean, there's so many ways to just go and check out the world, especially for those who don't come from Europe. I mean, for them, everything is new. And for me, I'm just trying to get to know other countries too, because I'm quite open to live also in other countries and not just in my home country. And therefore, I need to know how it is to live in other countries actually, and not just go for a visit because it's totally different. We have all the opportunities open, and we can adapt everything the way we want to because it's all quite personal, quite flexible. And that's also a very good point. I planned a long-term internship actually after my master thesis to just have everything out of the way and just focus on the internship, just to have some more experience. And as people like to say, you can also get a contract when you do a good internship because people are very widely searched. So I don't know yet for my summer, maybe just also traveling, but I'll be very excited to know the next semester subjects. It's maybe not my strength topic, the electronics part, but maybe it can change. And also for the multidisciplinary parts, it's quite interesting to just check out different things, to get to know also other students and having another insight in other topics. So it's hard to say what I wish for because it's basically all related to the studies. Maybe having a bit more free time to just check out the city because I visited, but not much. And also a bit more of the northern part of the country, getting to know Belgium a bit better because even if we are neighbors, there's still not much that we know about it because it's a quite small country, but it's quite underestimated, I find. And I just want to get to know a bit more about the country and travel a bit, see how it goes.